if you're going to commit to some shit, please go 100% the fuck in. Don't go in 45%. Don't go in 25%. And don't go in 75%. If you say you're going to do some shit, if you say you're going to commit to something and you go 75%, you really just demonstrated how much of a bitch you are. Because when you commit to something, you either can go all in and commit and give it your all and see how far you can push beyond that threshold, or you can give it that 45% that doesn't mean shit. So when you decide to commit to something, make sure that you go all in and that you don't hold back. Because most people say they want to do something and they try to commit to something and then they fail miserably because they only committed 7%. So if you're going to commit to some shit, at least give it your all. Because when you don't give it your all, you're really just demonstrating how much of a failure you are with how much you fail to give to what you are trying to dedicate and commit yourself to. So you're either going to go all in or you're just going to render yourself a failure by not going all in. And so try to take this message and then internalize the concept of going all in instead of giving fucking 5% and leaving that 95% dormant when you say you're going to commit to some shit. You said you were going to commit to quitting the addictions. You said you were going to commit to the weight loss. All you did was give 10%, and that 90% that you left dormant is what left you, a failure at, failing to execute what you said you were going to do. So don't be a failure and, execute what you were going to do, because, we're all watching you just be a failure when you said you were going to commit to, what you said you were going to commit to. And, the real ones are going to take this message and shut the fuck up and start being productive with their life and get shit done. Now, the fake ones are going to sit there and, try to make themselves feel better and accommodate their inadequacies and weaknesses because of, they're too pussy to handle the truth and the accountability and the fact that, if you're not fully committed to what you say you're going to commit to, you're really just a bitch. And, to be a bitch is to know that you're a bitch and then to commit to being a bitch because you failed to commit to what you said you were going to commit to, and then you failed to give all. You failed to give 100% of your time and energy and attention and to channel it, your potential energy into this one specific outcome, even though you said you were going to commit to it, and then you started to commit to it with action, which is impressive because most fail to, fucking back up what the fuck they reverberated from their fucking throat, from their fucking voice box into the universe, the cymatic, mumbo jumbo, the verbal linguistics. You can be all linguistical and you could, speak, but if you're not backing your shit up, with fucking action, and you're not actually fully 100% committed to what you said you were going to commit to, then again, you're just rendered inferior by conduct. You are a failure by your own personal conduit. You said you were going to commit, you made a commitment, and then you failed at committing at what you said you were going to commit at. And so at this point, you're just a pussy, you're just a bitch. And, you could take this message, two ways, in the world, you have the perspective of I need to construct myself and be better in life, and I'm going to take this message as a accountability reference for me to refer to ensure that I no longer only give 10% of what I can actually give. And I'm going to start giving 100%. I'm going to see who I truly am, and I'm going to give it my all. And I'm going to tear through the fabrics of my own mind, and I'm going to reveal to myself who I am by committing fully to this one thing that I promised myself I would commit to fully. But, since you're too comfortable, you're too naive, and you're very fucking lazy, you only give 10%. So, remember that you only live once, and if you want to commit to something, that's the internal thing. You are telling yourself that you want to get this thing done and you want to commit to this one thing because that thing is going to fulfill you. When you reach to that end outcome, when you reach to the end of, that tunnel that you have to walk through, that you have to commit yourself to, to endure, the activities, or, the constant habitual sequencing, to get to that outcome that you wanted to commit to. Every time you neglect, actually moving towards that specific outcome by enduring, which you have to act upon, which may be to go to the gym every day and lose the weight, or to, go to the gym every day and to put on the muscle instead of walking around with 10-inch fucking arms and a weak ass midsection that can easily be fucking kicked in. So, you have to understand that, it's your consciousness, your conscience is telling you these things. It's telling you to go out into the world and to acquire, what you want to acquire, to fulfill that desire through inspired action. And, to neglect that because you're too fucking lazy, and then to commit 10% when you want to commit 100%. You want to commit 100% to your goal, and then you don't commit 100% to your goal because you're too fucking lazy. And that shit is so fucking pathetic. So, we're just gonna call you a bitch. We're gonna slap a sticker. We're gonna tattoo a fucking bitch on your forehead until you get the notion that if you have a goal and you're not moving towards that goal, if you have something you want to get done in your lifetime and then you fail to get it done, you are, a failure, and you failed yourself because you were supposed to fulfill that and transpire that into existence instead of reverberate it through your fucking, throat and voice box, and, communicate it through verbal, linguistical, communication, and, all this, cymatic frequencies, that you reverberate. But instead of just talking, let's start doing, and let's start being, and let's start actually setting that personal development in motion. And how do you do that? You actually act on what the fuck you said you were going to do. And instead of giving 10% of that weak ass pussy shit that, my little sister could fucking do, let's actually commit to it 100%, and let's see how far you can get in this fucking roller coaster of life. Now, social media is in the description, community is in the description. DM me on Instagram for, mentorship, and, we'll take it, levels beyond your fucking comprehension from there. But, that's it for today. Peace!